I'm Sophia, and this is my beginner's crochet class. I hope you learn a lot from this and enjoy it. You're going to need yarn, scissors, a crochet hook, and some crochet needles. Let's get started. So, you're going to want to find the end of your yarn right here, and we're going to unravel a bit of it. There we go. Now my lighting's better. And, okay. So you find the end of your yarn once you have unraveled some of it. You put the yarn like this on your hand and grab it with your thumb. Or, no, sorry, on this hand and grab it with your thumb. And you put it like this. And then grab these two. Grab this side and this side like this. Stick your fingers through this loop. Twist them so that they're facing up. Grab this end that is still connected to the yarn and pull it through. That's called a slip knot. Now, you put your hook through it and pull on this end that is still connected to the yarn. Let's try that one more time. Okay. Don't mind the background noise. That's just my sisters and my mom. So, first, you put it on your hand like this. Then grab it like this. Put your thumb and first finger through here, this loop. Twist them so that they are pointing up. Grab this piece of yarn that is still connected to the skein and pull it through. You have just made a slip knot. Okay, sorry. My light isn't working. It keeps turning off, so we're just gonna have to do it in this spot, in this light. So, once you've made the slip knot, you're gonna put it on your hook and then pull this strand of yarn that's still connected to the ball of yarn to tighten it. And you're gonna want it to be like this tight, not too tight, but also not too loose. Okay, then you're gonna grab this little knot right here with your pointer and thumb, and then you're going to put this strand of yarn over your first finger like this and sort of hold it loosely in place with your pinky finger. Then you're going to put your middle finger and thumb on this knot instead of these two fingers. Then what you're going to want to do, you have your hook, you're going to grab this yarn right here and bring it over here and pull it through this loop. Okay? That's called a chain stitch. We're going to do that again. You're going to hold right here with your middle finger and thumb. Take your hook and grab this yarn and sort of like turn your hook as you're going, because if you don't, then it's going to be sort of harder. So go like this, and then to pull it through, you can't really just pull it through like this. So you're going to turn your hook downwards and then pull it through. Easy. Well, easy for some people. For some people, this will be a bit tricky, but you'll get it in no time. So what we're doing right now is called a chain stitch. This is the foundation of most of crocheting. Yeah. So my hook's a bit dirty. Anyway, so we just chained 2. So I'm gonna demonstrate one more time. If you don't think you've got it quite down, skip the video back and re-watch the part where I first did the chain. But if you do think you've got it, then we're going to chain, let's do, we have 2, we're gonna do 4 more. So that'll be 6 chains. So we're gonna go grab the yarn, turn, and pull through. That's 3. Grab the yarn, turn, pull through. 4. Grab, turn, pull through. 5. And so, okay, wait, let's just do this last one. Grab, turn, pull through. 6. Okay, so also to count stitches, each of these stitches is one of these little V's, okay? So to count them, you're going to count each of these little V's. So that's 1 stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 stitches. Okay, so when you're chaining like this, and when you're getting ready to do your first row, you never ever go into your first stitch. It messes it up, sort of. Usually, always, you go into the second stitch. So this would be your first stitch right here, and this would be the second stitch. And you're not going to go through the whole V. You're just going to go through this top little loop right here. See, there's 2 loops in that V. 1, 2. You're going to go through like that. Okay? And then you're going to, you can keep holding it like this, your yarn like this, or really hold it however makes you comfortable right now. But I'm going to hold it like this still. So, what you're going to do, we're going to do a single crochet. We're going to grab our yarn right here with our hook. So since it's behind our hook, we're going to turn our hook backwards, grab it, and then turn it forwards again. And then you're going to pull it through this loop that we just went into. Okay? So we went into this loop right here, the top one. We turned our hook, grabbed the yarn, turned it around, and pulled through. Okay, then to complete the single crochet stitch, you're going to grab this yarn, this one right here, grab it with your hook, and pull it through both of these loops. Okay, that is your first single crochet. Now, we did that single crochet in this loop. So, we're going to go to the next stitch and do it in the top loop of that stitch. So for this one, it would be that loop, this loop right here, okay? So you go through that, you grab your yarn, grab your yarn, pull it through that loop, and then you grab your yarn again, this yarn again, and pull it through both of these loops on your hook. So I'm going to undo that real quickly. And then you're going to go through this loop right here in this stitch, this top loop. We're going to grab the yarn, pull it through, and then we're going to have 2 loops on the hook. If you have more than 2 loops on your hook at this point, then you should undo the stitch and try again. Okay, so now you're going to grab this one, this yarn, and pull it through both of these loops. And so if you're not sure like how to take out a stitch, all you have to do is take this yarn and pull slowly. If you pull it too fast, everything could come out. But if you just want to undo one stitch, pull it slowly. Okay, I'm just gonna redo that stitch real quickly. And don't try to do this like super fast. If you're a beginner, then you want to do it at your own pace. Like usually pretty slow so that you don't mess up. Okay, now, also, some people make the mistake of going into the same stitch twice. So, let me make this clear. We're not going to this one. You can sort of see that our stitch goes into there, and it's kind of loose. We're going to go into this next one. Go into the top loop only. Okay? Right here. And then we're going to, instead of grabbing the yarn with your hook, you could also use your fingers and wrap it around. But we're going to keep this simple for today. We're just going to grab it. So we grab it with our hook. We pull it through that stitch that we just went into. Now we have 2 loops on our hook. So, we have our 2 loops on the hook. We grab the yarn, pull it over here, and just like I said on the chain stitch, you're gonna turn it towards the bottom so that you can pull it through easier. And we're gonna pull it through both the loops. And now, before we continue on, you can see over on this side we have 3 V's. These are our 3 stitches that we have done. Your first 3 single crochets. This is called a single crochet, what we're doing, by the way. There are a lot of other stitches, some called double crochet, triple crochet, but right now we're going to do this one. Once we get used to doing this stitch and the chain stitch, and once we master this, then we'll move on to doing other stitches. Okay, this is also probably, these 2 stitches are probably the easiest stitches you can ever do in crochet. The chain stitch and the single crochet. So now we're going to go into this, this is our 4th stitch. So we're going through this one, not this one, or this one, right next. Going through the top loop only, remember. I'm gonna grab the yarn with our hook and pull it through that stitch. Now we have 2 loops on the hook. We're gonna grab the yarn again and pull it through both the loops on the hook. Okay? So that's the 4th single crochet. Now for the last and 5th single crochet, we're going to go into this one. This loop right here. It might be a little tricky because it's the last one and it's right next to this knot, but we don't go in this knot. There's like, this knot is our slip knot, but we're not going to go into that one. We're going to go into this stitch. You can see because it's kind of bigger than this. And then we go right into that loop. We grab our yarn and pull it through the loop. Now we have 2 loops on our hook, or pull through the stitch. 2 loops on our hook. Grab the yarn. By the way, this yarn right here, this is called the working yarn. So I'm going to call it our working yarn from now on. And this yarn, this little yarn right here that's connected to like the bottom of our, where we did our slip knot, this is called the tail end because like it's kind of like a little tail. It's not connected to our yarn. The one that is connected to our yarn right here is called the working yarn. Okay, where were we? Yes, we have 2 loops on our hook. We grab and turn and pull through. Look, wow, we finished an entire row. Okay, so we're gonna count the stitches, or the V's. 1 V, 2 V, 3 V, 4 V, and 5 V. You may be thinking, hang on, wait, didn't we do 6 chains? the answer is yes, we did do 6 chains, but we went into the second chain instead of the first one. The first one is like, it's that right there. And so, also, since we went to this into the second chain here, we're not going to go into this first stitch just right away. We're gonna do a chain 1. So we're gonna grab this yarn, turn, and pull through. That's it. The chain 1 right here. And then, if you don't do a chain 1 here, instead of this if you do a chain 1, it's gonna look like a perfect neat square. If you don't do a chain 1 at the end of every row, then it's gonna like grow smaller and smaller and smaller, and you're gonna sort of end up with like a triangle shape. So unless you're going for an odd triangle shape, then please chain 1 at the end of every single row. Okay, so to go to our next row, it would be weird if we went like this. So we're gonna turn, because that's what you do when you're end with the row. You chain 1 and then you turn. I suppose you could chain 1 after you turned, but it's easier to do that before you turn. You're gonna turn, and this time, remember how I said we don't go through both loops in our chain stitches? That's in our chain stitches only. For our regular stitches, like on this second round right here, we're going to go through this V, all of it, not just through this loop, not just through this loop, although sometimes you are required to do that, but we need to keep this simple. You're going to go through both, go through the entire V. Okay, so we go through the entire V, we grab our yarn, pull it through that V, pull it through the V. We have 2 loops on our hook now. We grab the yarn again, turn it downwards, and pull through. That is the first stitch of the second row. See here how we have a nice straight edge? I'm going to show you what it would look like if we did not chain 1. Okay, so it doesn't really look like it at first, but if we keep going, see how this end is sort of like smaller here, and then it's bigger here. And also, it's a lot easier to go into the first stitch if you do a chain 1 before that. Okay, let's go back. Okay. Sorry, but wait, let me fix this. Okay, I fixed it. Now, so we're back at our first single crochet of this row. Got our nice, smooth, straight edge. And then we're going into the next V. Both sides of the V. You don't want to leave one out. I'm going to do both. Okay, once we're in the V, or the stitch, we're going to grab our yarn, and we'll see, as I told you a little while ago, it's behind your yarn, so it's behind the yarn. I'm so sorry. The yarn is behind your hook, so you turn your hook, and then grab it, and turn it back. So that's what you do when you grab it. And then you pull it through that V, or that stitch, and you now have 2 loops on the hook. I'm going to grab your yarn again, turn it, and pull through. Okay, so I think you probably have the single crochet down by now. If you don't, please skip the video back, watch the portions of the video where I explained how to do the single crochet, because we're going to just keep going. Right now, we're just going to make a basic square. So I'm gonna speed it up, but at the end of every round I'll like, or every row, I'm sorry, at the end of every row I'll like I need words. At the end of every row it'll stop being sped up, and then I'll say like, this is the end of our second row, this is the end of our third row, etc., etc. Okay. Okay, so we're at our second row, chain 1 at the beginning, and then move on to our third row. Oh, by the way, this, we don't go in the chain. You might get confused and try and go into the chain, but we go into this V right here. Third row. We're gonna do 5 rows, so 2 more rows. We chain 1. It's gonna be our 4th row. Then we're gonna chain 1 again. That's our 4 rows right there, and then go on to our 5th row. Okay, so that is our 5 rows. Yeah, this nice, neat little square. Then, to finish off a project, when you cut it, you're going to grab your yarn, make a little chain stitch right there. Let me grab my scissors. You're going to cut, make sure there's a little bit of length of yarn yet left to weave in the ends, and cut it. Yes, you cut it just then, and then you pull, and that makes a nice little knot right there. Okay, now I'm gonna move this out of the way, take one of my needles. See, the end is very blunt, so it won't hurt unless you like poke someone really hard with it. You just thread the needle like that. Make sure there's a little tail right here, and then we're going to, you can pretty much sew it any way. You could like go diagonally, you could go like this way. Just make sure you go in and out, in and out like this, sort of. And then you're gonna pull it through. You're gonna like make sure that didn't tighten it, and then we're gonna cut that in a minute, but then we're gonna do this other tail first. Okay, so get this one out of the way. Oh. And we're gonna go this way. I'm gonna sort of like, oh, I've got a little bit of hair on my thing. There we go. And pull it through. And like flatten it out. Now we can put away this needle. Please, even though these are blunt needles, still please don't leave them lying around. It'd be dangerous. We're going to then cut this end. Move that aside. And cut this one too. And there you have it. Also, you might be thinking, why can't we just like cut these ends why do we have to weave them in? The reason we have to weave them in is because if you just cut them, then the little knot here will come undone and your whole project will come apart. So this is a better way to do it. Now you have made your first crochet project. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you learned a lot. Congratulations on making your first crochet project. I hope you stay tuned for the next video and have a good rest of your week.